Oh, what's this? A mod of the day on a Saturday? Well, that's strange, isn't it? And yes, it is, kind of. But with the gigantic avalanche of mods from the modathon, we've got a lot of catching up to do. And unfortunately, that does mean doing a few videos on the weekend. Which brings me to today's mod of the day, which today is MWC Compare Tooltips by rfuso. And basically, this is a UI mod that adds just kind of a new component to the UI with just an easy way for you to compare any equipment, like, weapons, clothing, or armor that you find out in the wilderness, or just, somewhere out in the game world, to the equipment that you already have equipped. Just think of this kind of like the UI tooltips that you see in dungeon delving role-playing games, games like Torchlight, Grim Dawn, or Titan's Quest. Those kind of games where, you go through a lot of loot and you can look through all the equipment and see the little, green and red arrows indicating whether or not that equipment is better than what you already have equipped. That's basically what this does. So now, when you look at the tooltip for, say, a weapon, you can just easily, right away, see, what the stats are in comparison to the weapon that you already have equipped. Obviously, green is better and red is worse, so there's a ton of stats, in the vanilla game for, various weapons. There's slash, there's thrust, chop, speed, reach, enchantment capacity, the item value, and the weight. And you can see just right away by looking at the tooltip which stats are worse and which are better than the weapon that you currently have equipped. And it'll even show you by how much, that stat is better or worse than your current equipped weapon. You'll see the quantity just right there on the side, next to that stat. And this is a huge, convenience mod, because in the vanilla game, you had to manually try and figure out, okay, so this has a slightly higher thrust value, but a significantly lower chop value. Should I use this weapon or use something else? And this this kind of just paints everything in a more clear, transparent light in terms of, what's objectively better and what's objectively worse, and in which stats, just at a single look. And I do think that this is particularly handy if you have just a ton of mods that add a ton of new weapons and armor, because this is an MWC mod, and that means it'll automatically work with everything. So if you have mods like Killing Floor or Drip, which add hundreds or thousands of new weapons and armor to the game, you can automatically see, which ones are actually better than your currently equipped, items. And that is a huge time saver over, trying to have to figure that out manually by comparing all the individual stats. So, this is a huge convenience mod that is, certainly well worth your time to install. But that is just our mod of the day. So, as always, I've been your host, Dark Elf Guy. Thanks for watching. Stay safe, stay healthy, happy modding, and I'll see you all next time.